Help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code BLUBRRY004.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Don Bain, Beekee Box Professor. How are you, Jacques? How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
What did you bring to us? What can we see?
In fact, we're Beekee. We are a Geneva-based education technology company, and this is a Beekee Box. What it does is that it enables our clients to deploy digital classrooms wherever they want in the world without any kind of internet or power.
Pull your mic a little bit. There you go.
Like
okay.
This?
Can you repeat that? Because
yes,
I
really
couldn't hear you.
Yes, of course.
Sorry.
So, of course. So this is a Beekee Box. It enables our clients to deploy digital classrooms, like at university, for instance, but wherever they want in the world without any kind of internet or power.
What?
I can tell you a bit about how it works if you want.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So in fact, it works a little bit like an iPod 15 years ago, meaning it sees the internet only when it's connected to a PC which is online. It's its window to the world. At that moment, in fact, there's a learning management system on board, the world leader called Moodle. So that's what my children, for instance, use at university. They don't have paper any longer. They have a portal open which knows who they are, how far they got, has all the PDFs, all the videos. So that's all on board here. And it updates, it synchronizes learner identities, learner progression, and contents of the lessons when it's connected. And then when it's disconnected, like the iPod 15 years ago, it doesn't see anything any longer. It has no antenna to speak to the internet, but it does have a Wi-Fi antenna. So it can create its own Wi-Fi. It also has a powerful computer. Yes, and 2 terabytes of storage.
This is going to create its own Wi-Fi circuit.
Yes, exactly.
And
completely offline.
It's automatically paired with the computer that's in this?
Yeah, well, in fact, the computer is what gives, the computer and the memory is what is beamed, or let's say, what gives the content, which is beamed via the Wi-Fi.
So now I'm kind of on a private B network.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, completely. If you so wish, yes. Exactly. It's a completely private network. In fact, you know, at university, when our children study, in fact...
What university?
What's that?
What university?
Whichever. In fact, in...
where did you...
I studied at HEC in France.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly.
Yeah.
And so at university, typically, today at least, you have these portals, these LMSs. And so when the students log on to the Wi-Fi gives them a choice between going onto the internet or to the server, which is somewhere in the basement. Sure. And this is the same thing. So I'm offering people learners, exactly the same experience, but not an access to the internet.
So it's an intranet.
It's, yeah, kind of. And so it's very useful, in fact, because in the world, okay, here we are very privileged. We are very well connected, and power basically works all the time. In the global south, billions and billions of people, the majority in the world doesn't have that. In fact, it's either bad internet and bad power, or both are too expensive, way too expensive. And so this solves this problem. Today, basically, if you're an NGO, so we have for instance, we have the International Committee of the Red Cross. They wanted to train people in Myanmar, their own people, as to how to behave as Red Cross employees. So in fact, they can just go to Myanmar, they push a button, and then they create this network for up to 40 learners, and their learners connect with their smartphones.
What kind of computer's in that?
It's a Raspberry Pi. So I'm not the expert.
Are you kidding me?
No.
There's a Raspberry in that?
Yes.
Wow. And it's able to, obviously, it's able to process that information in real time?
Yes.
And feed it to a server?
Yes. Well, actually, it is a server. We use it as a server.
But the speed is the lag,
the speed is fine. So in fact, recently we did a test.
I'm stunned.
It's up to 40 people. Recently, we didn't have more. We're a small company still, huh? But we didn't have more devices. But we have 30. We had 37 devices streaming video of it at the same time.
Really?
Yes, and it worked. And our clients are super happy because it basically, let's say, the alternative is nothing, or they go somewhere and they tell people in the village, for instance, farmers, whatever, we'll teach you something, but you need to go to this place in 2 months, 50 kilometers away, where hopefully the tech works, but still we're going to budget for 2 days because we're not sure it's going to work, even if it's only 1 day. With this,
rock solid.
Yes, thank you.
How much does that cost?
It starts at $700.
And can I just buy this and incorporate this in my school or my whatever it is?
So you could. The thing is,
do you integrate this? Do we go to your company and I say, look,
we do.
I have a school that teaches I don't know, how to fly a drone.
Yes.
I want all this on, I have my content,
Yeah.
but I need something when they come to the school area that they can log on to an intranet, a network,
Exactly.
and get all the stuff that they need.
Or go where they train with the drones, and then
Okay.
you're sure that it works. Yes, indeed.
So you would incorporate all
Yes.
that. You tell me what I need.
Exactly.
Do you install it? Oh, you do. See, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we do everything. So basically, our customers typically have all the content.
Right.
The most mature of them, the biggest ones, like ASU is one of our customers. They go to the Global South.
I know
They-
ASU well.
Very good.
Gave them a lot of money. Both my kids went there.
Okay. Very, very well. Very good. So they will typically have perfect content already from a technical point of view. It's already on Moodle, everything.
Sure.
We just put it on there, put it on the server, and we are up and running.
How much memory does this have? Or it's all on the server stored, and this is just a conduit that
This is
says
2
go here,
terabytes.
go that way.
Up to 2 terabytes.
Okay.
So it's several masters worth.
I just can't believe that there's no speed lag. It's just with the Raspberry. I mean, there's so. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm asking because there's
Yes.
so many other small format computers that are just so much more powerful.
It's a good question.
And you're using a Raspberry.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, we ran into a speed problem at a point, and
Yeah.
then we solved it. Actually, we found out that with some coding, we
Really?
did. Yeah, in fact, there's well, my colleagues know better, huh? But yeah, there is some coding where, in fact, you can kind of throw a switch, and you can also add 5G instead of the classic Wi-Fi. So there is a small USB key for 5G on there.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
You initially did find some speed issues
Yes,
with
we
the
did.
Raspberry,
Yes.
but it was through coding and not necessarily through
Coding and
hardware.
hardware. So
Coding and hardware.
It's a very small USB key. Well, not a USB key, but a USB thing, which is Wi-Fi giving 5G, which is added. Then, in fact, the Wi-Fi was much faster. The issue wasn't really the processing speed; was more the Wi-Fi speed. And then, in fact, initially it was the old-style Wi-Fi.
Geez, well, that's why I'm here to learn. It's pretty interesting. I would never think that. I would think the processing speed would be the bottleneck.
It does not seem to be.
Well, obviously you're up and running, so
Yes, we
I mean
are.
that's wow. And how many of these are actually deployed?
Roughly 250 systems. So we have more than 40 customers today, and they're active. They've deployed it to more than 25 countries.
Okay, so the base unit would be this, and that's about $700 ish.
Yes.
And then
If we work together, typically we're selling 4 things, if I can say it like
Okay.
this. So the hardware, which is of course the pivot of everything.
right.
Then we're selling we're doing some implementation, meaning,
Yeah. Well,
we take.
that's critical. I mean,
Yes, exactly. So in fact, sometimes if you're a mid-sized organization, it's not perfect. So you give us a PowerPoint. Half of us have a master or a PhD in education technology, so we cut it into smaller.
okay.
So we cut it into smaller pieces, add quizzes, so as to make the outcomes empirically better. Then we also sell a package which we call Beekee Plus, which is it's free the first year, and after 1 year, that's basically the package which includes the crucial synchronization software, which is that's really our secret sauce. That's the thing which we are the only ones in the world which we know how to do. Plus cockpit, which
I
is
can
fleet
believe
management, and and plus maintenance and support. So in fact, when you buy all this, it's a little bit like Apple. It's kind of an optimized device.
Sure.
Not for being a smartphone, but for beaming classes into wherever you go. And that's part of the service.
That's extremely impressive.
Thank you very much.
Where's your booth?
It's down at the Swiss
Downstairs.
Tech booth. Sorry.
Okay.
Downstairs
And
at Eureka.
Why did you come to CES? To
Yep.
show people that this exists, or to meet other marketing opportunities or synergies between other companies?
Yeah, but in fact we had 3 ideas. The first one was to meet a new type of customers. Currently we work mainly with NGOs and government agencies, but we're also very interested in multinationals who have a global supply chain which they need to train, how to make a better coffee and learn a little bit about human rights typically, if you're a coffee company, or cyber-sensitive industrial sites, where in fact the CISO, I used to be a CISO, would like to air gap the site. But then in fact, with this, at least, the shop floor workers, you can train them without needing to get onto the corporate network. And the third thing is dispersed teams. So if you're in construction, catering, oil and gas, instead of telling, like in the village, instead of going to people and saying, okay, in 2 months, please show up at this place 100 miles away. No, you just go there, train them. It's immediate and it's documented.
So you set up station for that specific function, and then you...
Our clients do that, yes.
Wow.
They could at least. So let's say...
Now this is empty, right? There's nothing in this?
Yeah, that's a dummy.
Can I see the real thing downstairs?
Yes, of course. You can come and visit us.
I'm going to do that.
With pleasure.
Very interesting product. I still can't get my head around. Not that there's anything wrong with the Raspberry, but in my head I don't visualize that as an engine, you know, to pump out that kind of information at the proper speed without lagging, you know, or drop signal or any of that. I just can't get my brain that you harness the and it's wonderful because it's not that expensive.
Nope.
You're keeping the price down and you're getting the job done, and that's commendable.
And if you look at the alternatives, so let's say mobile network if available, but typically it's much, much more expensive per megabyte.
Oh my God.
And if you, I mean, here you just charge it once, maybe even at headquarters in Europe or whatever in the US, and then, in fact, it's all the rest is free. Or if you take satellite,
it's brilliant.
That's much more expensive.
It's just brilliant. It's just...
Thank you.
It's just it's an amazing device.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, I got to go down and see it. I want to see it for real. Great.
Happy to
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you came on. It just kills me. It's just such an interesting thing.
Thank you very much.
It just shows you, that's why I say I learn everything here, and I still can't get my head around. But the thing is, it's the ingenuity of their people, of their product engineers and their scientists and their developers. Very bright people who were able to take literally an educational, I don't want to say toy, but a very unpowerful, and I hate to use that word. Pardon me?
A gadget almost.
It is. That's why they call me the gadget professor. But it's just so cool to see someone push that device way beyond where it was ever dreamed to be. I mean, it wasn't... That computer was not designed to do what it's doing,
That's
and
true.
you're doing it.
But we tried to push it even further, and then we failed. Something we tried to do was that, in fact, we got a grant to study to put AI on it.
Yeah.
So as to help, let's say, our first idea was tutoring the individual students.
Yeah.
However, that just consumes too much electricity, so the packaging doesn't work then. However, we're going to use AI probably to help the instructor assess what the students
Right now, you don't have a choice because that's the way it's going. Everybody's... And it helps, but boy, in terms of form factor, you nailed it.
Exactly.
I mean, nailed it.
Thank you.
Very good.
I'm very flattered. Thank you very much.
I'm flattered. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good luck to you. I'll see you later, I hope.
Yes.
I want to see the real thing. That's amazing.
The Tech Podcast Network's CES 2025 coverage is executive produced by Adam Barker. Technical director is Kirk Corliss. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Tracy Ingram, Xerxes Goddard, Brandy Jackson, and Aviva Cram. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, and Scott Ertz. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. The TPN studio executive is Todd Cochran. This has been a Tech Podcast Network production, copyright 2025.